Today we're going to be watching a video about a Zack D Films clone called 3D Polyfilms. If you can see on there. How do I oh yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to take that much time of yours, so let's begin. Wait, how do I pause? NASA's bizarre spider experiment.
You catch a spider and give it a drop of powerful illegal drug, you might expect it to completely lose its mind. You see, NASA actually conducted a bizarre experiment to see how different chemicals affect the spider's ability to spin its web. When they gave the spider substance...
Hold on, what the fuck? Hold on, whoa. We're off to a horrible start here, what the fuck?
This is like LSD.
Shut up.
Sleeping pills, or marijuana, the spiders built strange and distorted webs, but they still maintained a geometric functional structure. However, the most terrifying result came from a chemical that millions of humans consume every single morning, caffeine. When a spider was given a drop
You're going to...
of regular coffee, its nervous system completely crashed. It lost all sense of geometry and spun a chaotic, broken mess of random threads that made absolutely no sense, proving that caffeine is technically the most destructive drug a spider could ever consume. If you catch a spider, if you catch a...
I'll have to see what that is. Black market spiders.
if you walk along the beach,
If you cut this block, cut this rock, it bleeds.
you walk along the beach, find this ordinary looking gray rock and slice it open with a knife, it will literally start bleeding bright red blood. You see, this isn't actually a rock at all. It is a bizarre living marine creature known as Chilensis. To survive in the harsh ocean environment and hide from predators, this animal secretes a thick,
It creates thick gunju
hard layer of cells around its body, creating the perfect
cells that are white like gunju.
camouflage to look exactly like a dead stone, but inside that hard shell it has living flesh, a digestive system, and a heart pumping real blood. Because its blood is packed with a rare element called
It's raining blood.
vanadium, cutting it open creates a horrifying fleshy wound that oozes red liquid. It literally looks like the earth itself is bleeding, making it one of the most unbelievable biological...
Optical illusion. Do you see the blood in the rock?
If you accidentally
If you touch the plant, you will beg for the end.
If you accidentally brush your finger against this ordinary looking green leaf, you will experience a pain so terrifying you might actually beg for your own end. You see, hidden deep
Why?
in the Australian rainforest is a real plant called the Gympie Gympie. Its leaves are covered in millions of microscopic glass-like needles filled with a highly toxic neurotoxin. The moment you touch it, these invisible needles inject venom directly into your nervous system, causing an unbearable burning sensation that feels like being electrocuted and set on fire at the exact same time.
He just grew taller. Replay clip.
It can't.
Causing an unbearable burning sensation that feels like being electrocuted and set on fire. Lasts for months or even years, flaring up every time you take a shower or touch the area. The suffering is so intense that animals have reportedly thrown themselves off cliffs just to escape it. If you accidentally brush your
I'd give that get the hell out.
if you pay a company to
If you freeze your body, this happens.
freeze your dead body in liquid nitrogen, you might think you will just wake up in the future.
How would you even pay them if you're dead?
You see, this is a real practice called cryonics, but they don't just freeze you like an ice cube, because expanding ice crystals would completely shred your cells from the inside out. Instead, doctors...
So just incinerate. I'm still here. Can you put me back onto the screen?
pump your veins full of toxic medical antifreeze, essentially turning your brain and organs into a solid block of glass. The terrifying reality is that the technology to reverse this and wake you up doesn't actually exist. No one has ever been brought back, so you are basically just trapped in a frozen chemical limbo, hopelessly waiting for someone centuries from now to figure out how to unfreeze your glass brain before the facility ever loses power. You pay a company to freeze your to figure out how to unfreeze your glass brain before the facility ever loses power. You pay a company to... If you are pe- if you if you are peace
If you feel like falling asleep, this is why. What did I say?
you are peacefully drifting off to sleep and your entire body suddenly violently jerks awake because you feel like you are falling from a great height.
Jerks?
Jerks awake because you feel like you are falling from a great height. Your brain actually thought you were dying. You see, this is a very common biological glitch known as a hypnic jerk. As you fall asleep, your muscles rapidly relax and your heart rate drops. But sometimes your body shuts down a little too quickly. The primitive survival part of your brain gets confused by this sudden drop in physical activity and misinterprets it as your body either actively dying or falling out of a tree. Just like our ancient ancestors, to save your life, your brain panics and sends a massive sudden jolt of electricity to your muscles to snap you awake and force you to catch yourself, completely ruining your sleep just to save you from a threat that doesn't even exist. If you are peacefully drifting off to sleep and your entire body suddenly violently jerks awake because
Jerks.
you have never actually seen...
You haven't seen through black.
Surgeons cured patients of... You have never actually seen the color black. When you step into a pitch-dark room, your eyes are physically incapable of turning off. You see, in the absolute absence of light, your retinas continue to fire random electrical signals due to natural body heat. Because your visual cortex refuses to process complete emptiness, it actively invents a dark, static-filled gray to fill the void. This hallucinated background noise is a real biological phenomenon known as Eigengrau. Your brain is so terrified of total sensory
Is that German?
deprivation that it fabricates a fake static scream just to keep itself active. So when you close your eyes tonight, are you really in the dark or just watching a silent broadcast created by your own mind? You have
Breaking news. You are fucking sleeping. Wake up at 7 a.m.
Surgeons cured patients of severe knee
Doctor does nothing and get them.
pain by putting them to sleep, cutting their skin open, and doing absolutely nothing else. In a shocking medical trial, doctors took patients who desperately needed knee surgery. They anesthetized them, made real incisions, splashed some salt water, and simply sewed them back up without repairing a single thing inside. The unbelievable part is that the fake surgery actually worked. The patients who received the fake operation recovered just as fast and felt the exact same pain relief as those who had the real procedure. When the human brain is completely convinced that the body has been healed, it can biologically force physical recovery out of thin air. This extreme placebo effect proves that your own mind might just be the most powerful, unexplainable drug on Earth. Out of thin air. This extreme placebo effect proves that your own mind might just be the most powerful, unexplainable drug on Earth. Surgeons cured patients.
So I could be 2 years old eating drugs. What the fuck?
Albert Einstein
The only thing faster than light.
proved that absolutely nothing in the universe can travel faster than light. Yet your own shadow can easily break this ultimate speed limit. By pointing a powerful laser at the moon and passing your finger across the beam, you cast a shadow on the lunar surface. You see, flicking your finger just a fraction of an inch causes that giant shadow to sweep across thousands of miles of the moon in a single millisecond. This means the dark spot is traveling drastically faster than the speed of light. Physicists explain this doesn't violate any laws because a shadow is not a physical object. It is merely the absence of light. Since absolute nothingness carries no mass, it has no speed limit whatsoever. Albert Einstein proved that absolute
Just casually. I want to see me one wretch and you. Can we please stop? That's good. Wait, it says Albert Einstein. Einstein. No,
light is
you can outrun light on a bicycle.
Light is the fastest entity in the universe, yet scientists successfully slowed a laser beam down so much that you could easily outrun it on a bicycle. You see, physicists took a cloud of sodium atoms and cooled it down to absolute zero. This extreme freezing creates a bizarre state of matter where atoms lose their individual identities and merge into a single dense superatom. When they fired a laser directly into this freezing cloud, the light didn't just pass through.
Can you? Well, cut. Light is still not working.
The quantum environment acted like a thick swamp, slamming the brakes on the photons and dragging their speed down to a mere 38 miles per hour. They took the
So it went from this to this. Don't turn on the light.
absolute speed limit of the entire cosmos and reduced it to the pace of morning traffic. Light is the fastest entity in the
Don't turn on the light.
Scientists once
Your brain is hiding things from you.
raised living creatures inside a room filled only with vertical lines, and their brains literally deleted horizontal objects from reality. In 1970, researchers placed newborn animals inside a highly restricted cylinder painted entirely with vertical stripes. You see, they wanted to know if our brains naturally understand vision, or if they must learn it from the environment. When the animals were eventually released into the real world, their behavior was terrifying. Their eyes were physically perfect, but they were completely blind to anything horizontal. They would walk straight into chairs and stairs because, to their minds, those objects were completely invisible. The experiment proved that our brains don't just see the
So they were like, la da la la da.
world. They actively build it. If a mind can simply edit out physical objects because it wasn't programmed to see them, what parts of reality is your brain erasing right now?
My brother's existence. But I think that's enough for today. Don't turn on the light.